Hello, happy Friday. Welcome to Let's Get Social Live Sew Along. Today we are going to be doing a hack of Know Me 2016. We're going to be taking this dress and turning it into a peplum top. And this dress is perfect for that. We will also be, or I will also be swapping out the sleeves. And I decided to use actually, I switched it up. I decided to use Vogue 1824 sleeves. I'm doing actually a short sleeve, so I'm even modifying this sleeve as well. But we're going to do the bulk of what we're going to do with Know Me 2016. Again, we're going to be turning this dress into a peplum top, and we're going to be using our Ankara fabric. So all this month, everything I'm sewing, all the patterns I'm sewing, I am sewing with Ankara fabric. The fabric that I will be using all month, I got from Zesty Couture Fabrics, and it has been great. If you didn't join me last week, you should know that I used 20 Know Me 2092 lens pattern to make these pants, and they are absolutely gorgeous. I love them so much. And I'm going to be posting pictures of them soon. You know, life has been lifing and I've been super busy, so I haven't been able to. But I wanted to put them on the dress form just so that you could see how they turned out. I did end up going back in and readjusting the waistband, but they turned out super cute. And I cannot wait to put them on and take some pictures so that you can get a real feel for the look. Hi, RVBs. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're going to dive right in because I know that there's a lot of parts to this pattern. And since we're doing a hack too, it's Friday. I want to get us in and out. So again, thank you all for joining. Happy Friday. And let me know if you're sewing something today, tonight, this weekend. Drop it in the chat. Let me know what you're working on, because I know we're all working on different things at different times. So and I'm going to need your help at some point to pick out the zippers. I got an invisible and a regular zipper in two different colors. And so once I start putting this together and we get to the zipper part, I'm going to need your help a little bit to figure out which zipper that we're going to be using. So with that said, let's dive right into it. And so again, we're going to start with 2016. We're turning the bodice portion and the first skirt, because this is like a tiered dress, so we're going to use the first skirt portion to turn this into a peplum top. We will also be doing one other modification, which is that we're going to take the zipper from the back and we are going to put it in the front. So I did post on my Instagram a couple of prep videos earlier today, early this afternoon, basically telling you that the patterns for that you normally would cut on the fold, we're basically going to be reversing it because this dress has the zipper in the back, and so it instructs you to cut the front pattern pieces and the front skirt pieces on the fold, and then you're going to cut the back bodice pieces and the back skirt piece. You would cut two of those instead of cutting it on the fold. And so since we're putting the zipper in the front, we are going to actually be doing the exact opposite, which is that we are going to be cutting the back on the fold and the back skirt piece on the fold, and then we're going to be cutting two of the front bodice piece and two of the front skirt piece. Again, that's going to just allow us to do the zipper in the front instead of the zipper in the back. So work with me, people. Hey D, welcome. Happy Friday. So the first thing that we're going to do is that we are going to get out our pattern pieces number one. And I've done some things in advance, like the first instructions, it tells us to put some darts in pattern piece number one. You have two dart pieces on the side. It also tells us to put an interfacing around the neck line, and you do have pattern pieces for that interfacing piece. And so I have already done that. So I'm just going to show you what I did, and then we're going to move on to the next step. So here again is pattern piece number one. You would have done cut a a fabric piece and a lining piece, because this dress does have, or the dress that will be turning into a peplum top does have a lining to it. And so again, it's telling you to cut it on the fold, but you will cut two because we're going to be putting a zipper in the front. And then you will put a dart both in your lining and in your fabric pieces. So you're going to put that dart right here on the side. And then you will be putting a piece of interfacing around the neck portion of both pieces. And then the last part of step number one is that it tells you to put a stay stitch in. And I went on ahead and did the stay stitch. So when you're doing this stay stitch, you're going to make sure that you go from the outside to the inside. And this just really helps to stabilize it. We probably won't have that issue with this front piece because, again, we are going to be stitching it. We're going to be putting the zipper in the front, and that's going to help keep both sides balanced. But those are the steps that you would complete for step number one. So I've done those steps. And then you're going to do something similar with piece number two. So piece number one is the front bodice piece. And then here we go with piece number two, which you also have a fabric and a lining, and it tells you to cut two. Again, because we're not going to be putting a zipper in the back, we're putting it in the front. So what you would be doing is you're actually going to cut this on the fold instead of cutting two pieces. And so you also have darts that you will put in at the bottom. So here's the dart at the bottom on both sides. So let me just open it up for you. So you have a dart at the bottom on both sides. And then you also have interfacing that you put around the neck line. Hi, Gaynell, welcome. So that is what you're doing. I also put the stay stitch at the bottom. I put it in the seam allowance. And so you can't really see it because it's the thread matches the fabric, but there is a stitch that is going all the way across the bottom. Well, not all the way across. It's going inside to the middle from each side. Again, just to help stabilize it. And so I've done that just with the main fabric piece, not with the lining piece, but I did do everything else with the lining except for put the interfacing. So it has the darts in the lining pieces as well. So once you've done those pieces, once you've done your interfacing, your darts, and your stay stitch at the bottom of the fabric, then you are going to take your fabric pieces, your back piece, and your front piece. And let me just make sure I have, okay. And then we're going to be stitching both sides together at the shoulders, and we're going to stitch them together at the sides. So that is what we're going to be doing now. Our seam allowance is 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. So that is what we're going to do. Right sides facing each other. And I'm just clipping these pattern pieces to this so that I keep everything together. Hey, Carmen. Hi, Miss Alethea. Welcome. All right. So now I am going to open up my back piece, which again, I cut on the fold, so it's one single piece. And I'm taking my front pieces and I'm connecting them at the shoulder. And then I'm going to stitch them together. So I like to do all of my like pinning or clipping first, and then I like to do all my sewing at once. I feel like it makes things go faster. It might just be in my mind. I don't know, but I like to do that. By the way, if you are joining late, as I'll move out the way periodically so you could see it, behind me are the pants that we did last week. So we did Lynn's pattern, Nomi 2092, the pants. Again, I really love these pants because they fit so well. I did have to go back in and do the waistband over, just because if you all remember, this is my new machine that I'm using. I won it at Baltimore Frogtails, and I made these pants a couple times before, but this is the first time that I used this machine, and I misread the measurements, and I thought I was sewing at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. So nonetheless, basically all of my measurements were off, so my waistband did not fit. So I ultimately took it apart and redid it so that it fits perfectly now. If you could see that, it fits really, really well. So, but it was a lot of work to take it out because goodness gracious. So lesson learned, make sure you know your measurements, because the pattern that I cut fits me perfectly. So, but that's the other thing that is kind of a lesson learned with when you have a waistband, you have to make sure that you keep those measurements consistent. Otherwise, your waistband will not fit around your pants if you decide to like do a different, seam allowance. You have to make sure that you do it all the same. So drop it in the chat if anybody's sewing anything. Thank you, Miss Alethea. I'm gonna take some pictures soon. I gotta get myself together. I actually tried it on and it looks so good with the white shirt and this black. I tried it on with this black blazer, which is like my favorite blazer, and then a white shirt. I tried it on with the black. I tried it on with the white. The white was popping, definitely, and it looks so good. And so I just need to take some pictures in it. I will definitely be wearing these pants to work, just like I'm gonna be wearing this top. So this top I actually plan to style with some blue boot cut pants that I have, navy blue, and a navy blue. Well, I don't even know if I'll be able to wear the blazer because of the peplum skirt. So we'll see. But I'm doing this with my sleeves. I'm taking them down to like right above my elbow because I feel like that even if I can't wear a blazer with it, it's going to still give me that very like corporate look that I'm going for when I wear this top. So that's how I'm planning on styling this top. So Miss Alethea said, I'm just finishing up some alterations while I listen in. Thank you. So how did the dress come out? I know you were working on a dress last week for a wedding this weekend that just passed. I mean, I'm sure it came out wonderfully. I know you did some coloring of it, and the coloring looked really, really good to me. The dyeing that you did of some of the fabric. Okay, Miss Deborah Jackson said, where do I get my fabrics? So these fabrics, that's a great question. So these fabrics came from African Zesty Couture. And she is on Instagram, Grace. She's on Instagram, African Zesty Couture is where I got these fabrics from. And so let me just tell you, so I thought it was a fluke last week, and it was not, because I washed this one today. And look at this. Look how vibrant these colors are. And I think I saved the color. Did I save it? Yes, I did. Okay. So, do y'all know about when you wash Ankara fabric, or really any colorful cat fabric, you should use one of these color catchers. And yes, this is a used color catcher. So I have used it with other African fabrics that I have bought before. And the thing is purple, bright pink like this you see right here. So I wash this. Here's the color catcher. Like, can you it's like, it's still white as far as I'm concerned. It's like, it barely has any color. So it really didn't bleed almost at all. So that is a very good thing and it retained the color. So you worry like, oh, if you wash it, will it retain the color? It hardly bled and it retained the color. So really, really good as far as you don't have to worry about, you know, if you're a person that doesn't like to wash your fabric, this might be the place to get your African fabric from, because you're not going to be bleeding, you know, colors all over the place. All right, so now I'm going to stitch. Again, I'm doing 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Five-eighths of an inch. I need to mark this because let me tell you something. I can't see. This is my problem is I can't see. All right, there it is. I need to like mark it with something so that I know exactly where it is every time I'm doing it. I get so nervous now. I want to make sure. So I'm still using my new sewing machine that I got, which is, I guess it's a couple months old. I won it August the 3rd at Baltimore Frogtails, and I'm just giving my Bernina a rest. And it's working really well. I like it a lot. So yes, this sewing machine B38, it's a Burnett, which is another brand in the Bernina family. And this machine was donated during the Baltimore Frogtails by Domesticity, which is it's a local Bernina retailer, but they also sell fabrics and patterns and all kinds of other things. But they also have classes and they do repairs on Berninas as well. So I need the backup so that I can put my machine in for just routine maintenance. So now I'm going to be able to do that without missing a beat. So I'm excited about that. So Miss Alethea said, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, the color catcher is like definitely something I would say you want to get. I think I started getting them because Auntie Carol was using them. And I said, you know what? I wash my fabrics, my Ankara fabrics, and you never know like whether all the color gets out. I've never washed them with other things because I'm so nervous about what's going to get, you know, what's going to turn a different color. But the color catcher does exactly what it says. It catches the color, and you don't have to worry. Let me see. Thank you, Deborah. Okay. So I've done the shoulders. Now I'm stitching together the sides. Now I don't anticipate any issues with switching the zipper from the front to the back. If you saw my picture for this week's pattern, you'll see that my inspiration picture had a zipper in the front for the peplum. So I really wanted to replicate that. The question that I have and where I'm going to need your help is one, picking the zipper and whether I should do an invisible zipper or a regular zipper. So part of me really wants to do the invisible zipper because why? I like invisible zippers. And I like that thought of just having it be invisible. But then I'm like, that really kind of defeats the purpose, right? Of putting the zipper in the front. Like, you won't be able to see it. So I do have two zippers. One is this deep purple and one is this kind of reddish color. They both match exactly. So part of me is like, I could do just a regular zipper and have it show. It's not going to look horrible, you know, from an aesthetic standpoint, because I got zippers that actually match. So I don't know. I need your help. I'm gonna show you the zippers in a minute, but I definitely need your help as to what I should do. Should I go invisible, which is what I always tend to do, or should I do a regular zipper that you'll be able to see a little bit? I'm okay with either one. I really feel like either option will look okay. Okay, so I stitched to the front to the back at the shoulders and the side seams. It's all together. By the way, I am sewing a size 16 for this peplum top. It might be a little bit too big, but again, I'm wearing this to work and I really wanted to have, a much more conservative look than I would wear if I wasn't wearing it to work. So, and I've gained a little bit of weight. That's the truth be told. I gained a little teeny bit of weight. So I decided to sew a size 16. Now, when I sewed this pattern before to make dresses and tops, I sewed a size 12. I have not tried on those garments since I've gained weight, so I don't know if I could even fit them. But I don't know why TikTok keeps trying to restrict my visibility. It's nothing going on over here. We just sewing a shirt. So anyway, when I try it on, if it looks like a little bit larger, it's a little bit intentional. Okay, so Marjorie said, what Bernina do you normally use? So I normally use my the 790, B790 is what I normally use. So I've been using that for the last like 20 months. I got it in December of 2022. So it's going on 2 years that I've had it. And I love it. It works wonderful. So I just wanted to put it in for maintenance because I'm like, it costs a lot of money and I don't want anything to happen to it. So I just want to keep it going. But I've been hesitant to do so because I don't have a backup machine. So this machine literally came right on time. And I do love my Bernina 790, but it is heavy to lift. You can carry it with you, but like I said, it's very heavy. This is light. Like I almost don't even feel like I'm so used to lifting my Bernina. This is so light. It's got to weigh 3 pounds. So it's super light. Oh, well, you know what? I thought they said that long as you have clothes on it, D. So TikTok. So D is telling me that because I have this mannequin in the background, that's why TikTok keeps restricting me. But I know one time I got restricted and I had it. It didn't have clothes on it because I was dressing it with one of the garments I made. But I thought it's because I had clothes. I thought if I had clothes on it would be okay. But they all can see. I guess it's just not pushing it out to new people. Hey, Grace. Welcome. I was just talking about you, that I'm using one of the fabrics. I used another fabric that I got from you last week, and I'm using this fabric this week. And I was just telling everybody how I washed it with the color catcher, and it literally did not bleed. This is evidence. Doesn't bleed, which is great. So welcome. Yes, it's great. Thank you, Grace. Let's see. So Miss Alicia said, I'm a fan of the exposed metal zipper. So let me show you these. So this is the thing. The metal zipper like this. I'm doing all kinds of things. I got all kinds of things going on. So this, I don't have a zipper with the metal like this that matches the color. So I opted not to use like one of these. Navy blue was like the closest that I could get, and it doesn't really, I mean, it's not even navy. It's like, I don't know. It looks more like black to me than navy. So it just wasn't giving me what I wanted it to give. So Miss Alethea, tell me if you think differently, because the exposed zipper is going to really be, it's going to be like this. It's going to be that purple, or it's going to be this I don't know if you can really see, but it's going to look like that. So it's really going to be like a continuation of the shirt. Now, these are the invisible zippers, but you're not even going to see them. The only thing you're going to see is the little pull piece. That's all you're going to see is the little pull. So here is, oh, let me show you everybody on TikTok too. So these are, here are the two zippers. These are the two zippers that'll be exposed. These are the exposed zippers. So you'll see this, and it matches, it does match this. Hold on, let me hold it up so you can really see. It matches it really well. I mean, either one of those would work for an exposed zipper. Look at that. Either one. So, oh, so you say you like the colored ones too. Yeah, so let me know. I'm not to the point where I have to put the zipper in yet, but let me know what you think about which one. I'm really leaning towards the exposed zipper because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like, you know, it'll be a good look, I think. And the bottom line is that if it doesn't look right, I could always, like, this is the part that is my favorite part about being a sewist, because I'm like, oh, if I don't like it, I could just take it out and do it again. I mean, I'm not minimizing it because obviously your girl don't have tons of time to be doing things like that. But the thought that I can actually do that just makes me so happy that I can decide, like, oh, if it doesn't look right, I could take it out and, you know, put another one in, put an invisible one in. Hey, Cynthia. So Marjorie said, I just bought my $7.90 last year and I absolutely love it. Yes, yes, yes. I absolutely, I love it. It doesn't do anything wrong in my eyes. It's just like the perfect machine. The Bernina 790 is like everything to me. It does everything. It's easy to use. Like, I love it. But I like this machine too. It's getting the job done. I'm gonna tell you, it's getting the job done. It's definitely, put it like this, I don't feel like I need to swap it out and pull my other machine out. I'm able to do what I need to do. Okay, so we are done with this part for now. So I'm gonna literally put this to the side. And I know TikTok doesn't like my dress form, but we're gonna just, I need it. It's a part of how I sew. So I'm just gonna put that on there like that. And that is the bodice. So now we're going to take out piece number 8. And that is, we're working with our skirt piece and our pockets right now. So this has a front skirt, a side skirt, and a back. And in order to create our like peplum, we are using the dress of Nomi 2016. It's like a tiered, I don't know if tiered is the right word, but it has layers. It's like a top layer, and then it's a bottom layer. We're using just this top layer to make our peplum portion. So you're gonna get out your piece number 8, which is your upper front. And again, you will have cut this in 2 pieces instead of cutting it on the fold. So you're gonna have 2 pieces here. And then you're going to get out your piece number 9, which is your pocket facing. So let me just move this to the side. So here's my pocket facing pieces. Now I did cut this in another cup fabric because I was contemplating using this because you're going to be able to see like part of it, but I decided I'm just going to go all one color. I'm just going to keep it all the same. So I opted, I'm going to use these. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take one of your piece number 8s, and you'll notice that you have this piece that's like folded or like that's slanted down. You're going to take that piece and it should line up with your pocket piece. So you're going to take your pocket piece and right sides facing, you're going to line up both of those slanted parts. And I'm just pinning them. And then we're going to stitch them at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance right down the slant. That's the only thing you're stitching is right down that slanted part. The other thing I do like about this Ankara fabric is that it responds well to fabric softener, and it is very soft. All right, so I pinned, and let me just show you what this looks like. So it's like this. This is my pocket piece, right sides facing, like that. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other part, because again, remember we cut this, here we go. We cut this in half, or we cut two pieces instead of one on the fold because we are gonna be putting our zipper. So I'm doing the same thing to the other piece, and then I'm going to just stitch right down that slant area of the pocket. So here we go, same thing on this side. You could see that. And basically what we're gonna do is we are just stitching right down this part. Hey, Sabs. Welcome. How are you? All right, here we go. I think I've gotten spoiled because of you from using the clips, because I'm telling you, I get stuck all the time when I use these pens. And it's like, I don't know if I'm just not as careful. Clearly, I'm not as careful, because I'm telling you, every time I turn around, I'm getting stuck. I'm just turning on my little iron so that I can press these pockets when I'm done. Because the next thing you're going to do, and I got to still sew the other one, but you are going to turn it to the inside. So I'm turning the pocket to the inside, and you're going to press it, and then we're going to do a top stitch. Because the other thing I really love about turning this dress into a peplum is that you're going to have pockets in the peplum. How awesome is that? I'm telling you, I cannot wait to wear this. I always wanted to do, ooh, please don't tell me my needle. Okay, my needle did not break. Thank goodness. Because I'm like, I do not have backup needles out. And I would have to figure out where I put them. So I got to be extra careful. So one of the things I always wanted, since I've been sewing, or even before I started sewing, is I wanted a whole like weeks of like corporate clothes, dresses, suits in Ankara. And I don't know, it seemed like a couple years ago, I didn't see it. Now I do see a lot more, but you know, options that are out there. But now I can sew. So not that I wouldn't buy anything, but now I can sew, so I don't have as much. I'm like, okay, I could try to make it. And here I am trying to make it. Hey, Aisha. Hi, Tadri. Welcome. Thank you so much for the gifts. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for the likes as well, because that helps to notify people that we're here. So what I'm doing now is I am flipping the pocket to the other side, and then I'm going to take my little iron, and I'm just going to press it before I put that top stitch in. And y'all know I like to use my little mini iron. It just, especially now, because I still have to get a table. Y'all know I talked about getting a table now that I've reorganized. But this just fits perfectly right in my place. Like, look at this. I'm just like ironing. I'm going from sewing to ironing, sewing to ironing. Now, there's no steam in here, but, you know, I'm making it work. I am making it work. It is, and it's definitely giving me a little press, so I'm very happy with that. It's giving me exactly what I need. This little thing gets hot too. See, that is perfect. And like I said, look how vibrant that color is. You would never even think I had washed that. It's so vibrant. Even this one, look, it's so vibrant. The color is just so wonderful. And again, what I like about it is it didn't bleed into the other colors. It doesn't really have that much white in here, but it does have a little bit of white, and it's not pink. It is still white. So that is really good, because sometimes you have that Ankara fabric and it's got so much color in it, and it just, I don't know what the difference is, but it bleeds so much. And I've had to use 2 of those color catchers, and they both come out like bright pink. But this one, as you saw, was still white, and I only used 1. So, because I did not wash the whole 6 yards, I cut a chunk of the fabric out, and I just washed what I was going to use, which I normally wash the whole thing at once, but I'm going to just wash what I use at this point, because once you wash it, it takes a lot more space, and I have very limited space at this time. So I was like, let me just wash what I need. As you know, when it comes, it's very neatly packaged, and it doesn't take that much space. So I needed it to be, I have it in a drawer with like stuffed in there with a whole bunch of other stuff. And I was like, it's got to return to this space, whatever I don't use. Okay, so now I'm going to do my top stitch right here. And I love a top stitch because it just makes everything look so nice and neat. You can't really see it, but because the color is right there, but it looks really good. And I got one more to do. Oh, that looks great. Both of them look really, really well. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to take our pocket piece number 10. Was actually a side front, and let me see, what do they call it? Skirt front. But it goes right behind the pocket piece. So it tells us to, so here is our side of our skirt. So it's like right here, or the peplum part of your dress. Let me just show you. So here is where it'll be. Like this is, you're basically creating this pocket piece right here. So you're going to take now this side skirt piece, and you should have like markings, which I should have. And you're lining this up literally with the edge of your pocket piece that you sewn on. So let me show you. I'm going to show you this in a different way. Okay, so here is the inside of that top skirt. So here is the pocket piece right here. Here is the inside of your skirt. Now, here is your pattern piece number 10. Here's what it looks like. This is the right side, and this is the wrong side. You are going to basically line the edge of this up with the edge of this. You're literally lining this up. So it's right sides together. This is the right side of your pocket. You're going to take the right side of your piece number 10, which is the side, what do they call it? They're calling it the side front skirt, and you're lining it up with the pocket piece. And you're going to stitch across the top right here, and then you're also going to stitch across. Well, let me pin this first and then I'll show you. So you're lining up the two corners of the pocket right here. Here you go. And let me just pin that without sticking myself. I can find my pins. What I do with them? No, well, I'll use clips. I don't know what I did with them. I'm just going to clip this here. And we're going to stitch across this top. Just do a basting stitch right in the seam allowance. You're going to do that. Then when you turn it over, you will see that here's your pocket piece right here. You're also going to line it up with this side right here. And you're going to stitch along, do a basting stitch along this side piece. So you're going to have, this is your piece number 10 that you've added. It's the side skirt, but it also becomes a part of the pocket as well. So I am just going to put a clip in here while I figure out, I don't know what I did with all my, I guess I put them back in here. So I'm just going to put a couple of little pins in here. And again, you're doing a basting stitch. Right across the top and on the side. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Julian. Welcome. Anthony, are you coming over tomorrow and riding with me? Let me know. Send me a text. Okay, so here we go. And again, I'm going to just stitch right across this top, a little basting stitch in the seam allowance. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the side of this pocket right here. And before I do that, let me just do the same thing to the other side. Again, right sides facing, lining up that corner with the edge of the pocket. I think, you know what, so sometimes like when I'm thinking about making something with Ankara, I always think like, oh, is it going to be too bold? Is it going to be too much? But, and y'all know I love a black and white, so that's probably why I'm always feeling that way. Like, oh, is it going to be too much? But then I make it and I'm like, I really like it. So of course, y'all know like this right here is, I love this. This green and gold, like, is my favorite. But I had to get outside of my comfort zone, and I found colors that I'm pairing with things that I normally wear. So like I would normally wear like a monochromatic navy blue suit, pants, shirt, jacket, all navy blue. Like that's my vibe. Black, pants, skirt, jacket. Boom. Let's just keep it simple. I like it. But so I'm finding things that I can like pair with my existing things, which is easy to do because a lot of the stuff that I have is monochromatic. And so it really allowed me to be able to take, you know, this Ankara fabric and just pick, you know, something with a navy blue in it, which this does have in it, and just match it up perfectly. All right, so now I'm going to do I am going to do that basting stitch going down the side. And again, I'm doing it in the seam allowance because I don't want to have to take it out later. So I'm putting it right in the seam allowance. I also ended up serging this instead of, you know, last week I used that fray. But this time I ended up serging all the pieces. So I was like, okay. I mean, the fray, I haven't washed these pants yet since I put the fray in. So we'll see. I'll let y'all know, like, whether it's an alternative to serging for Ankara or cotton. All right, so that is done. And now let me do the same thing with this one. Hey, Shamira. Hi, Grown and Opinionated. Welcome. Let's see. Hi, Belinda. Okay, so I'm hoping that that fray stuff works because sometimes you just don't want to serge. Serging is a lot. It's a whole other machine you got to pull out. But nothing compares to how neat it looks, that's for sure. Now that fray stuff, and I think y'all told me this too, but it says that it is machine wash proof. So I'm not expecting for it to you know, come out or do anything. But again, we'll see what happens when I actually do wash it. We will see what happens. Okay, so now we have put our complete side skirt piece on. The only other thing we need to do is we do need to put our whole pocket together. And maybe it said to do this. It did, but I skipped that step. So we need to go back and do it. We need to stitch all the way around, which would have been easier to do before we basted it, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. We need to baste our pocket lining to the side skirt to create that full pocket piece. So we're going to do that really quick. And then we're going to connect the front to the back. So here I am stitching it all together. I gotta see what I do with my navy blue pants that I'm gonna try this on style this week, y'all, for y'all with. I've also been working on, Shamira, I know what I wanted to say to you. I absolutely loved one of your recent outfits. In fact, I saved it, but I need to repost it. I had to I was working, but I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna repost this. That terracotta collection that you are doing is like everything. You have really put everything into that, and it shows. One day I'm gonna do like and I see Chris from Unsocial is doing it, like a going back to work corporate. Look, because I'm traveling all the time. I'm wearing suits and stuff like 99% of the time, dresses, suits, things like that. So I would love to be able to wear like a whole me made, and I do wear my garments, especially in the wintertime. I'm definitely wearing my stuff that I'm making for sure. So these, I think I'll be able to wear in the summertime too. If y'all had not had a chance to check out Shamir's Instagram, she is working on a collection, or she's revealing a collection that she's working on. I think it's called the Terracotta Collection. Shamir, correct me if I'm wrong. I know it has terracotta in there somewhere, but it's so like awesome. She got a look for everything. For brunch, for work, for date night, you name it, she got something. Travel. All right, now we have, hi Auntie Carol, welcome. I'm so happy to see you. I was just talking about you. Look, wait a minute, where's my thing? I was just talking about you. You know what this is? A color catcher. And no, it's not clean. It's a used one. I was just showing people how I used it for Grace's, one of Grace's card that I had bought from her. And I'm telling you that not only did it not have a whole lot of color that came out, look how vibrant that is. That just looks so, it's just so nice. And the camera to me doesn't even really do it justice. Yes, thank you for dropping yes, go check out her collection. Do you post it? I know it's in your stories, but when it disappears out of your stories, are you putting it in a highlight or is it on your page too? Auntie Carol, it is the best. Like the color catcher is, since you show, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, a year ago, you had posted about using it, and I went and got me some, and I've been using them for my Ankara ever since. Okay, now we're getting piece number 11. So piece number 11 is our back piece. We cut this on the fold. So we are literally going to be taking one piece and stitching it to one side, and taking the other piece and stitching it to the other side, right sides together. So let me just show you what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Gotta make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, here we go. And before I do that, I need to make sure that I know what is the top and what is the bottom, because it's almost a square, but not. And I feel like I marked it, but now I gotta recheck it. I want to make sure. Okay, here we go. So where is, okay, so this is actually it. So I need to remark because I marked this, but guess what? I marked it upside down. So I realize now because I could see where. So what happened is I cut and then I serged it, so I had to remark it, and I remarked it. Oh, maybe I didn't. Oh no, that's right. So let me just, here we go. I just want to make sure I don't make no mistakes. So I'm just going to remark where I cut this. I could just see through my serging where I did my original cuts. All right, so this is the top. Let me just mark the top. Did I mark it? Did not. All right, there we go. Anything else? Okay. Now I know. This is the top. So you just want to make sure that you know what is the top and what is the bottom. And now we're going to take these sides and we're going to pin them right side together. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And I'm just pinning these and we're going to stitch these together on the side. And once we do that, then we're going to actually put, I think that's when we put our, yes, we're going to put our basting stitches in that we're going to use to create gathers. I am going to use basting stitches because I don't have a gathering foot for this machine, and I'm not pulling out my machine just to gather. Okay, so Shamira said, for those that are on TikTok, it is on her Instagram page. So if you can go to her stories and see a little quick reel, but if you've missed it, she's posting something new every day, so you can see the entire collection. It's 31 days, right? I think it's 31 days. Every day she's posting something, which is like amazing. I can't even imagine having made 30 something outfits. That's a lot of work. But they are all super cute. I was like, what is that? Okay, so one side on, and now I'm putting together the other side. "30 days." Okay, 30 days. So we are on day 11. So you got to get there and see. If you haven't been watching, you got 11 days worth of outfits and inspiration to pull from. Hey, Brooklyn. Brooklyn in the house. Okay, so let me show you this. I have just pinned the sides on to the back skirt. Again, the back skirt, instead of cutting two, we cut one on the fold. And then the front, as you know, we, instead of cutting one on the fold, we cut two. So that's going to allow us to put our zipper in. And now we are going to stitch the front skirt piece to the back. We have them right sides together. We're just stitching down the side. And this is going to end up being our peplum. So 5/8 of an inch seam allowance is what we're working with. We are making great progress. What time is it? Every time I say that, I feel like maybe I jinx myself because we make great progress, and then 3 hours later, we'll be finishing. But I feel like we're doing really good, honestly. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And back stitch. Now, the other thing I didn't mention that you will want to do is, and it probably is helpful. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to do mine later, but to do a narrow hem at the bottom of your peplum, just to finish it before you put your ruffles in. I don't think it's going to be so difficult to do it afterwards. It's not like you're doing the ruffles are going to be up here. The bottom of the peplum is, a good bit away. So I feel like you'll be able to do it without problem. But I meant to mention this earlier. I thought about it after, when it was too late for me to try to do it before our live started. But to do a narrow hem, or if you have a foot where you can do a narrow hem, that's probably even better. I don't have one on this machine, so that's one of the other reasons why I was like, but I think that it will make it a little bit easier, but I don't think it's going to be super difficult if you do it, excuse me, after the fact, like I'm going to do. I'll let you know. I'm not doing it on live, but I will be doing it to finish this so it has a finished look. All right. I mean, it's definitely coming together really quickly. All right, I think we are done. So we have sewn together and I'll just show you. I mean, you're not going to get a full feel of it, but you get kind of the gist of it. So this is the bottom peplum part. Now, once we put our gathering stitches in there, it's going to be, pretty gathered. But this is where it'll fit. This is the bottom part. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to put some gathering stitches in the skirt portion, and they're recommending 2 rows of basting stitches, and do it in sections because that'll make it a little bit easier for you to pull all the gathers together and make it fit to your bodice piece. So I'm going to do like the front. I'm going to do the whole back, I think, is 1, and then the other front piece as 1. So 3, I'm going to do 3 sections. And this is where I love my gathering foot. Y'all know I love my gathering foot, but I don't have one for this machine yet. I will be getting one for this machine. Why? Because the other thing that you could do is you could just manually do like a fold over. That's the other thing. And I always think about, and sometimes I do that, like basically just manually doing it, like folding it over and pinning it. That's just another way that you could do it till you get a nice fit for your garment piece. I mean, your bodice piece. So that is another way. And I'm not opposed to that way. My personal preference is I don't really like the basting stitch. I think I'm spoiled by the gathering foot. But with that said, that's what we get ready to do. So the first thing I like to do is just pull a little bit of the thread. And the other reason why is because I don't have two different color. Another thing I learned from Auntie Carol is use two different colors. Bobbin threads, I don't have two different colors so that you easily know which one you need to pull. You know which one is the bobbin thread and which one is the top thread. But both of mine are black. So I'm just going to adjust my stitch to, oops, is it that one? Yes. Nope. To 5. There we go. And I'm starting with the middle piece because that's the longest. And again, I'm doing 2 rows in my seam allowance because I'm not taking these out. They'll probably fall out at some point. Oh, we're on day 17. What's today? Oh, you started before October 1st. I don't know why I thought you were starting on October 1st. My bad. Day 17. I don't know that I've seen all of them then. I missed some days. Definitely don't feel like I've seen 17 days. I got to go back and look on your page and see what I missed because I know I probably missed something. Okay, and then when you finish, you are not going to use your automatic cutter because you do want to leave some extra thread to pull. Oops. And then you're going to do the same, another row right next to it. Again, pulling out a little bit in the beginning to start with. And then doing another row right next to. And I think, yes, so then after this, after we create our gathers, we are going to be attaching our bodice piece to our skirt piece. And then we're going to be putting our zipper in. I always have to pay close attention to my bobbin. Make sure I'm not running out of bobbin thread. I got another bobbin already ready to go just in case. Okay. And I'm just going to pull this and cut. And cut. Let's see. I know, look, I'm not used to sitting while I sew either. It's not I'm getting re-used to it, but I'm like, the last couple of weeks, like today is probably the first day that I feel the most comfortable with it, but I haven't felt comfortable with it. It's not, I'm looking, part of me looking at desks and tables is to find something that I can stand with. Because I definitely prefer to stand, like no question. After sitting again, I prefer to stand. I'm definitely not used to it either. So y'all heard me mention this on the last couple of lives. Your girl has gained some weight. I have not worked out in months. Yes, literally. Like maybe I've done like a day here, a day there, but that's really it. It's not what I'm used to. I'm used to like working out regularly. And maybe I fall off every now and then, but never this long. And so I worked out today. I was very happy that I worked out today. Like I'm on a mission. I've got, let me see, my goal, I need to lose 24 pounds, but not necessarily because I can gain some muscle and I'll be happy with that. So yeah, I worked out. I did a little 30-minute ride on my Peloton, and let me tell you, I know I'm out of shape because the way I was feeling when I got off that Peloton, I was like, my neck, my back, like I was hurting. I was hurt. I was like, what in the world? Like your ego, my ego was hurt. I was like, yeah, it was awful. It was awful. It was awful. But tomorrow is going to be day 2. The one thing I love about being vegan is that the snapback is so quick. Like, it's so quick. So I'm just drinking my water. See my little... Drinking my water. Getting my sleep. I'm going to be a different person in 30 days. Now I'm going to have a cousin in 30 days. I'm going to have a twin in 60 days. Like, I'm excited because I'm excited because I'm motivated to get up tomorrow. Like after doing today, I feel like, yes, in 30 days, I'll be adding back my weights. And yeah, by the time summer comes next year. Now, the sad thing is all these clothes I'm making right now, I'm making to my size right now. So are we serious? Did we like... Did this thing come out? When did it come out? It came out all the way back here. Okay. My thread came out, which I'm not happy about. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Now, again, the sad part is that I will have all these clothes that will be too big, but you know, it happens. It happens. Let me make sure this is not running out too. I gotta check on my bobbin. I'm just not okay. There we go. So yeah, I'm not the kind of person that waits until New Year's to like start working out. Like I will, if I fall off, I just start. I'll be like, all right, Monday, I'm starting. Tuesday, I'm starting. I'm like, let me just eat this, whatever it is that I want. And then I got a 10K that I'm supposed to be running in, not this weekend, but next weekend. And I have not trained. So, girl, it's going to be... And I normally would do a half marathon, but I was like, I can't do that to my body. My body has been too kind to me to put it through that kind of torture without training. But I'm going to be back on it. Back on it. Okay. So we have done that. And now, let me see. Okay. So one more side, the other front piece. That's all I have to put the gathering stitches in. And Then we'll be ready. Yeah, that's the one thing I definitely have to do is when I'm sewing with this machine, you just have to keep an eye on it because it will run out of, you know, bobbin thread, or the thread will come out of the needle and you'll be sewing and you won't even realize it. All right, one more row and we good to go. We will have everything that we need to have. All right, there we go. We have gotten all of our gathering stitches in. And let me see. So now it is telling us to pin the skirt to the lower edge of the bodice, matching all the notches. Here we go. This is our bodice. Again, we got to remember that the back is the part that is cut on the fold. The same thing with the back of the skirt. So what I'm going to do is just basically take the seams, the back, match the back with the back and the sides with the sides. So I'm matching the side seam up with the side seam of the skirt, the bodice and the skirt, matching up both the side seams. And I just need to take this out. I'm not seam ripping this. I'm just moving my basting stitch went into my seam. So I'm just taking it out of that so I can open up my seam. I don't know how I did that. Really, really, really. I'm about to leave this in here and just not open up the seam like I want to. Really? All right, there we go. All right, don't do me like that. Okay, one more. Oh, really? That's how you're gonna do? All right, well, all right, so right sides together. I just opened up my seam. Right sides of the skirt, right sides of the bodice together, bottom part of the bodice. And so again, I'm doing my side seam with my side seam, and I'm just pinning that because then I'm going to start pulling my gathers so that I can make it fit in there. So I'm pinning my side seams. All right, one side on, and then I'm going to the other side. And I'm pinning that here. Okay, that was perfect. That did not. And I'm putting another needle in here, or pin, I should say. All right, and then okay, here we go. And so then you can start to pull, and you want to pull your bobbin thread, which should be on the fabric side, if I remember correctly. If you pull the wrong one, it will lock it. So you do want to make sure you pull the right one. And I'm just pulling it until I get it gathered enough that it matches up with the bodice. So I'm pulling the skirt piece. And you got to be careful because your thread will break and then you'll be stuck without having enough to pull. And I'm just pulling, 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 creating these gathers. All right, there we go. Got enough. And now once you get it pulled to where you want it, then I just pin the other end of it and I'm just putting a couple of pins in here. And I'm just also spreading my gathers too at the same time, making sure that they're evenly distributed. And I think that is okay. Here we go. So you can't really see it, but I have gathered this piece so that it matches up in length. And I'm just putting enough pins in here to secure it until I can stitch it in place. And so this stitch will serve two purposes. It will be locking in the gathers, but also attaching the skirt to the bodice, or the peplum, I should say, to the bodice. All right, so now I'm on to the next one. So I'm pulling the next one. And again, I'm pulling, but I'm also like distributing it at the same time. And I'm going to, because this is the middle piece that I'm pulling, I'm going to actually do a little bit from each end because this is a longer piece. So I'm just gathering it, pushing all the gathers to the middle. All right, once I pull enough on one side, then I go to the other side and pull. And again, you want to make sure that you're pulling from the fabric side, which will be the bobbin thread. Hi, hi, Yas Creations. Welcome. For those that are joining, we are working on a hack of Nomi 2016, and we are making a peplum shirt out of this dress, and we're making it out of Ankara fabric from African Zesty Couture. Okay, and here we go. So I'm spreading out my gathers. Ooh, stuck myself one too many times. All right, there we go. That was quick. Got that done. And now I'm just going to start pinning. What is it? Okay, we are an hour and 26 minutes in. So once we finish pinning this, we will be stitching the bodice to the skirt or the peplum. And then we'll be moving on to the zipper. And that's where, again, I'm gonna need all of your help a little bit. I feel like we've decided, I heard some feedback. I think we've decided that we are going with instead of the invisible, we're gonna go with the regular zipper. I think that's what we all decided that we were doing. We felt like that was gonna give us a pretty decent look. My thing is, I feel like well, so let me say this. If I have a zipper that matches, that's on point, like matches my fabric, then I'm thinking to myself, I really don't feel like I should be using an invisible zipper because I've gotten so good. I'm just knocking on wood, because you say you get good and then the next 5 invisible zippers look a hot mess. But I've gotten better at invisible zippers where you truly cannot see them. And I feel so good about that. Like, I don't want to waste my colors, when I don't have to. Like, so my thought is like, oh, maybe I could use, like in this case, if I was to use an invisible, I would be like, well, let me use white or something that's like, because you're not going to see it anyway. So it's like, okay, why am I wasting, time on doing an invisible zipper when, you're not going to see it anyway? I mean, why am I wasting a good zipper color? I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe that's just not faulty thinking or something, but that's the thinking I've kind of come to. All right, so I am doing this last part. Just moving the gathers all the way over. Let me just pull these from this side. All right, where's this other one? That's the other thing I probably should have thought about is for these gathers, I probably should have used like a different color thread because you're not going to see them and it's hard to see these. It's very hard to see them in. Like I can't even see this thread right now. I'm trying to find the thread to pull for the gathers and I can't even see it. All right. Make sure I don't pull too much. All right, there we go. And let me pin. So we are pinning this, and now we're about to sew. And then we will have completed a big portion of this. Hi, Miss Tata, welcome. Okay, so now we have the entire skirt or peplum pinned to the bodice. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so cute. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm going to be stitching this at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. All of my gathering stitches will fall within my seam allowance, so I do not have to remove any of them. And here we go. Here we go. Just make sure that it's all lined up, because again, we're going to be putting our, maybe just over here, we're going to be putting our zipper on next. Again, I'm just making sure that nothing is like bunched up or okay. I just want to make sure my pocket is not bunched up in there, but it's not, so I'm good. Ooh, wait a minute. I forgot to readjust my stitch width to not be on a basting stitch anymore. And so far, so good. It's looking great. Everything is moving through well, from what I can see. Yes, this is just going to be so nice. I feel like this fabric looks so good, I almost might want to make a dress. Okay, we are halfway done. Just move this thread out here so don't get caught up. Okay. Last little bit. Just again, making sure my raw edges are all lined up. There we go, the last little bit. And a back stitch for good measure. Boom. Okay, so now this is what it looks like. Let me just take this off camera for TikTok because I don't want to get banned, but I am going to put this on my dress form so y'all can see. Just to get a little bit of a look how it's going to look. Okay, so now let me bring it back on. So this is what it looks like so far. Look at that. This is super cute. Super, super cute. Wait till we put the sleeves on and we're going to do the zipper. So now this is where I need your help. Just a little bit of help. So I think we decided that we were going to go with the regular zipper. I feel like, drop it in the chat if you disagree. Thank you, Miss Tata. Thank you, Belinda. So I feel like what we talked about earlier was regular zipper. So here now the regular zipper, this is the thing. The regular zipper, is going to show. It's going to give you this, you're going to have this little stripe down the middle. So this is so on the camera, this reddish looking, pinkish, whatever, it's a perfect match, but I think because it's like right there, it looks like it doesn't match, but it is a perfect match. So this is what it would look like, again, showing. You're going to see this, like, you're going to see it. It's not going to be invisible. You're going to see it. So tell me what you think about this. This is just showing. And then here is the purple, which I think is a little bit my favorite, but it does give a different look. Again, this purple is on point. It is a match 100%. I don't know. So tell me what you think about those. The other option is invisible. So you're not going to see anything, but that little pull at the top is just going to be completely together. So that is what the invisible would look like. Just, you're not going to see anything. It's just going to be like a little pull at the top. So that's invisible. So I got the invisible is like also like matches on point. And then the same thing with the red invisible. You're not going to see it. All you're going to see is the pull. All of that's going to be hidden. So all you'll see is that little pull at the top. And the plan is I'm wearing it with some navy blue. So the other color in here, this other color is navy blue. So I'm wearing it with some navy blue boot cut pants is what I'm going to wear it with. So, okay, so we got to vote for the invisible zipper or lap zipper. Don't do a center zipper. Okay, I got to vote for that. Okay, I got another vote for either of the, okay, so clearly purple is the color. And so it looks like we got 2 votes for the invisible zipper. So I think that's what we're gonna go with. I'm taking y'all's view. And I love an invisible zipper. I was just gonna do something different. I got all these regular zippers, which I rarely ever use because your girl likes invisible. So we're gonna do a purple invisible zipper is what we're gonna do. That's what we're going with right now. So let me just take this back off screen really quick so I can take this off the dress form. And I'm just gonna put this blazer back on. Again, for those that don't know, these are the pants that we made last week. It was Nomi 2092, again, Ankara fabric from African Zesty Couture. So I wanted to show y'all since, I did try them on a little bit, but I did have to make some adjustments to the waistband. So that's what is the final with the adjustment. Okay, so here we go. We are now putting on the zipper. We're doing the purple invisible zippers what everybody voted for. Oh, RBB said do something different. Well, you know what? This won't be the first time that I make it. I will make it with the zipper in the front. So I will definitely do it again for sure. All right, so invisible zipper. Y'all know I love the zipper tape, so we're gonna be working with that. Working with the zipper tape, my favorite thing to use. Just move some things out the way. Okay. Okay. So here we go. So this zipper is going to literally go. I'm not going to make it go all the way to the bottom because it's not a zipper that you can like separate. It's not a separating zipper. So, and I do plan to make it go like to an inch to the bottom. So I'm going to have to cut the bottom of it off, but I'm going to make it go like almost all the way down. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to just fold in about a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to press it too. So I'm going to fold in a 1/2 inch and press. And then I'm going to put my tape on. I am not doing a basting stitch. I just don't like, I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't like it, but since I've been using the zipper tape, I've just preferred not to do any basting stitches when I'm putting in zippers. I just use the tape instead. So I do press down. Sometimes I finger press, but so I basically will take and turn in from the right side to the wrong side about a 1/2 inch. So I have enough for the zipper tape to like be stitched on there onto a seam allowance. So I'm just pressing it down. And I'm also, when I get to the part where the zipper, where the bodice and the skirt meet up, I'm pressing that part down really well. Make sure I don't have any problems with attaching the zipper to that part. All right, now I have done that. And the next thing I'm going to do is I am literally going to take a piece of zipper tape and I'm going to tape it, put it all the way down on this folded part. So just so that you know what I'm doing, what you're looking at is the right side. I folded back a 1/2 inch piece onto the wrong side, and that's the piece that I am attaching the zipper tape to. So if you're looking at it from the wrong side, you can now see a 1/2 inch piece that I folded back, and that's where I'm putting my zipper tape on. Now we do have lining. That is going in, which we're putting in right after this. And it's, the lining is only for the bodice part. So I'm just basically taping down. And I love, 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 love this tape. I say that all the time, but I just don't know if y'all realize how much I like it. It just makes putting in the zipper so much easier. All right. And now I'm just cutting this little piece off at the bottom. All right. So I'm not going to peel it yet. I'm just taping it down. That's what I'm doing now. And now I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Again, just folding in about a 1/2 inch. Oop, just went the wrong way. Wait a minute, did I do that wrong? Oh yeah, okay. Here we go. I was like, wait a minute. All right. I'm just going to cut off these extra little strings so they don't get caught up. And now I'm just pressing it. Again, a 1/2 inch is plenty. I thought I was really going to do the regular zipper. And then once I put it on, held it up, it looks so good, like just holding it up to the fabric. But then once you look at the final piece, it did look like it was going to be a distraction. Like I almost feel like I probably should have done something like a navy blue, which I also had, and just opted like, Okay, I'm just pressing this last little piece in. Oops, I went way over 1/2 inch. All right, I think we are good to go. Just press this piece. And now I'm going to take another piece of zipper tape and put it from the bottom. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Okay, and now I'm cutting the last little piece off. Well, let me not say last little piece. That's probably confusing. I'm cutting it because I got it all on. Okay. So now I can move this. Let's see where we at. Okay, so now just move this over. Okay. So I'm going to turn this wrong side facing out. Makes it easier to put the zipper on. And let me just move all this stuff over. Look at this weight that I have. These weights I got from DC Frocktails. Look at that. They are so cute. I got to look at the company, but you all might recognize that logo. They were giveaways for DC Frocktails. Yeah. Yes, it did match. It definitely did, RV. It definitely did. Okay, so now I'm going to lay this out. Again, this is where it'll be helpful when I get my bigger table. But for now, I shouldn't have any issues. Should be okay. Matching up my so there's two big areas I want to make sure that match. Where the bodice meets the skirt, and then, well, I guess 3 areas. The top, the bottom, and where the bodice meets the skirt. Those are the areas. Okay, so now I got them matched up. Here is my invisible zipper. I'm going to remove the tape. I'm actually going to remove the tape from one end. If I can get it off. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to turn the zipper right side facing right side, basically. And I'm going to put the top of the zipper tape, line it up with the top of the, so this top of the zipper tape, I'm going to line it up with the top of the kind of the collar or the top of the bodice. because that's going to actually be folded under when we attach the what do you call it? The lining. So I'm putting that on there. Again, making sure that the middle of my zipper is aligned with the middle. You don't have to worry about matching it up with the other side right now. I'm just slowly putting it on there little by little, making sure there's no like gaps. Also making sure that, there we go. I know I say this every time, but it's true. Like this zipper tape is like the best. You just got to make sure you don't stick anything else to it because it will stick. And then I just like to, before I sew it down, I just like to make sure that it is not, there's no like buckling in it, that I don't need to readjust it. Like I see a little buckle right here and I don't like it. So again, the great thing about the zipper tape is that you can, before you start pressing it down, you should be able to like take it off a little bit. Oh yeah, see like a little buckle piece right here. All right, there we go. So now the next thing I'm going to do before I take that other side off is I'm going to actually sew this side down. So again, just making sure that it does not go over. So that's the other thing you want to make sure is that your zipper does not go over the opening. And it's probably easier to do it if you unzipping it too. That's another option you have. There we go. I'm just making sure that it's not going over the line. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to sew this one side down. So I'm going to put on my zipper foot. Oh, there we go. I was like, why is this not going down? Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. We're going to zip in this. We're going to sew this zipper down. This to the side. Here we go. Hi, Kay. Welcome. We are working on our peplum top, and we're putting the zipper on. Is what we are doing right now. All right, there we go. So I got everything on, and we're gonna start sewing. Okay, you sewing anything this weekend? So if you live in the DC area this weekend, they are having the jollof rice, or it's not called jollof rice, but it's called jollof, I guess, cook-off or whatever. So they have, you know, all the different countries that make jollof rice. And you get to taste all the jollof rice from all the different areas. So if you're in the DC area, that's going on tomorrow. You might want to check it out. If you like jollof rice, or even if you don't know if you like it, you can go and find out. All right, little back stitch. There we go. All right, so that part is done. And it zips up great. So that's that. Again, you won't be able to see it, but you can see the first side is on. Yes, I need to select a pattern deciding between four. Oh, four. Look, that's a lot of options to decide. So you're deciding between four. Not one, not two, but four. I feel it. So that means you definitely gonna end up making at least two of them. All right, now we've done one side. Now we got to do the other side. So I zipping up the zipper all the way, match up both sides, and then I'm going to take the zipper tape off of the other side so that I can put the zipper on. Now, one of the things I am going to do just to make it easier is I'm going to press back my fabric like where it was over, where it's going over the line. I'm going to press it back a little bit just so it doesn't end up getting in the way when I'm trying to tape it down. Oh, you said you just finished the hack from Nikki's Know Me 2094. Okay, I got to think about which one that is. I just pulled out all Nikki's patterns today. I was like, oh. And I realized I bought 4 of one of her patterns. And I was like, oh, this is like a sign that you really like it. When you go to the store and you're like, I don't know if I have this, but I'm getting it. Okay. Let me see. $20.94. Oh yeah. You just did a hack of that one. Kay just did a hack of this one. I haven't made that one yet. I have not made that one. Okay. I can't wait to see. Did you post it yet? Okay. Now I know what I do want to make of Nikki's. Like it's on my to-do list, along with several others. But this one is her the jeans and the white button down. I definitely want to make that. That is like on my list. Okay, so I'm pulling the tape off of the other one. I'm zipping my zipper all the way back up. I'm pulling the tape off. And then this is where, again, it's going to be important for you to line up the top. Start from there. A little bit harder to do when you don't have a lot of space like I don't have right now. But the good news is that I made it so that my zipper tape is at the top of. So I know if I put my zipper tape at the top, I know I'm on the right track in terms of lining it up. All right, so far so good. Again, just making sure that I don't know what I did. It's not lined up a little bit, but it's okay. All right, now the only other thing I need to do is just make, before I press this down really good, I just need to make sure that my tape is not covering the opening. So in order for me to do that, I'm going to open it up, unzipping it. Okay. All right, so here we go. So that's okay, that's okay. All right, so this I need to move back a little bit. All right, there we go. Okay, that's gonna be okay. That's okay, that's okay. All right, so now that I've got, made sure everything was okay, I think I can go ahead and sew it on. So I'm just opening up my teeth, my zipper teeth, making sure my needle is good. And now I think I can start sewing. Ooh-wee, that wasn't good. So I went into the zipper teeth. So I'm immediately taking that out because it will prevent my zipper from zipping up. So I just need to go back a couple of stitches. There we go. Yeah, I hate when that happens. So I'm just seam ripping this zipper in this couple of stitches. All right, there we go. I think we should be good to go. Maybe I'll take one more. Two more. There we go. This is that part where it's like, you got to take your time. All right, here we go. Almost. All right, about to pass the where the peplum connects to the bodice. Almost there. All right. Now I'm going to zip in this, make sure that it fully zippins. And then, well, it helps to turn it on the pieces to the right side. All right, there we go. It's like, wait a minute. See, this is where it's like you want to make sure. All right, it doesn't quite match perfectly, but it's not horrible. So I'm okay with it. So the only thing I need to do now is I do need to, because again, this zipper is not going to go all. Oh, what happened? I didn't pay attention. We're going to do part 2. My live disconnected. I did. I missed the puzzle piece. I did miss it. Thank you, Diane. I just went back on. Sorry, everyone. I missed the puzzle piece. Okay, so I am going to, so 2 things. One, I'm not sure what happened, but it didn't line up perfectly, which is not, horrible, because in this case, it's Ankara. You can't really tell that it's not lined up like perfectly right where the peplum meets. I'm not going to show it to you up close, but it's not like a perfect match. It's off by like a little less than a half of an inch, but it's maybe a little less than that, but it's off by a little bit. I notice it, but you're not going to be able to notice it from far away. But it also carried over down the bottom a little bit. Again, not a big deal. But what I do need to do is I do need to make sure that, because again, this zipper is not going to go all the way to the end, I need to make sure that there is a complete end to this. So I wanted to first, that the skirt, that there's a little piece where the zipper, the end of the part of the zipper will be hidden. But I wanted to make sure the zipper was going to be fully functional before I did that, meaning that it opens and closes with ease. And it does. And it does. There's like a little part where I need to like iron it, where the fabric hangs over, like right here. So I'm going to iron that just because it keeps getting stuck in. But the zipper, but outside of that, it does work very well. So the only thing we need to do next is we need to, two things. We need to attach the sleeves. But before we attach the sleeves, so here are my sleeves. Before we attach the sleeves, we need to put in the lining. And the lining is just the bodice. That's all. So I did do a lot of the things ahead of time. So I'm just ironing this piece down so that it doesn't keep getting in the way when we go to zipping this up. Just get another piece. All right, there we go. All right, so I am going to turn this onto the wrong side. And you don't have to do this if you use the basting stitch method to put your zipper in, because you already will have this area down the bottom towards the end where you don't want the zipper to show. You already have your seams together there, so you don't have to worry about it. But here, because I don't use that method, I do need to line everything up and just put in a couple of stitches, basically to continue down. Oh. And what I technically should have done is just not taking the zipper all the way down, but I did. I went all the way to the end of the skirt or the peplum, and the zipper is longer than that. Again, another problem you won't have if your zipper is shorter, but this is a 24-inch zipper. So, and my peplum is about 20, the whole back, I guess, is about 20 inches. So it does go down just a little bit further. So I'm just going to put a little stitch in here, and then I will be off camera cutting off my all right, there we go. That takes care of that. Yes, that takes care of that. So then the only other thing that we need to do, again, we're done with this part. This is how the peplum top looks without the sleeves. We just need to put together our lining, which is really quick. And all we're doing is literally attaching the front shoulder to the back shoulders, similar to what we did when we did the main fabric. So right sides together. And okay, this one is on this side. So I'm just going to do right sides together, sewing my lining pieces. And then we are going to put the lining, we're going to attach the lining to the bodice. the main fabric, bodice. And then that's really it. Oh no, we gotta put our sleeves on, which are also really quick. So let's see. It's 2:25, 2 hours and 25 minutes in. I think we can be done in 3 hours. At the 3 hour mark. All right. And we'll just put the other side on. I always find that, thank you all for getting back on. Sorry I missed the puzzle piece. Sorry about that. Okay. I love that this pattern really is working so well for making a peplum. It's like, who knew, right? Who knew? Okay, so I've got it all together, and now I'm going to just stitch at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And one shoulder done, doing first side. There are some finishing things that I'm going to talk about once we attach this that I'm not going to do online, but I am going to tell you about in terms of how to, finish up the, make the lining look really neat on the inside if you're interested in that. All right, other side is done. Or one side is done, I should say. Doing the second shoulder. Last side seam. So if you're looking for a peplum pattern, this could totally work. Totally work, but we'll validate that in a few minutes. Once I'm finished and try it on. Okay. So now we have our, let me move my sleeves out the way. And Put our zipper in. And we have sewn up our lining, and it is telling us to, so the first thing they want you to do, which I'm not going to do, is they tell you to press under your, from the right side to the wrong side, press under the bottom part of your lining. Okay, and I'm not doing that. I've serged all the way around, so I have a pretty clean finish. Okay, so let's see. Open out the center back, which in this case, we're going to open out the center front because we did our zipper in the front. And it says rolling the zipper teeth away from the opening. So we are doing right sides together. So you have this on the right, your main fabric on the right side, and you have your lining on the wrong side, and you are literally going to be matching up, rolling out your zipper teeth. So again, you're going to take your zipper teeth and put it out, roll it out so that you're lining up the edges. And then you're going to pin or clip all the way around that neckline. So let me see, open out the center back, which in this case is going to be center front. Roll the zipper teeth away from the opening edge with right sides together. Pin the lining to the bodice. Again, because I moved the zipper to the front. I am lining up, I'm opening up the front instead of the back. And then we're going to line up everything, matching the centers, matching the seams. And then we're going to stitch all along the neck edge. So that's the first step. So again, I'm just lining up. And now I'm about to stitch around my neckline. So just to show you, here it is. Here's the, and it's right sides facing. Now I'm about to just sew around this neckline. All right, there we go. Whenever you have a lining, it always takes like a little bit longer because I always think like, dang, if we didn't have a lining, we'd be done right now. But the lining definitely gives it that extra little, you know, gives you that extra finished look. Almost done. All right. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you are going to take your lining and you are going to stitch all the way down the sides on both sides, but you want to open out the zipper teeth so that the lining matches the other edge of the zipper tape so that it is completely edge to edge. And I'm not going to pin this because it's pretty straightforward, but you can pin it. You want to get as close to your zipper teeth without actually sewing over your zipper teeth. In my case, I want to always make sure that my serge edge is not showing, because that when I flip it to the right side, I don't want that part to be showing through. Even though it's going to be on the inside, I still just don't want that showing. I hope I didn't go into my zipper teeth. Uh-oh. So, yep. Yeah, so whenever you also have to be like really careful that you don't go into your zipper teeth, which is what I just did, because it will not zip in if your lining is sewn over your zipper teeth. So as soon as you hear it, hopefully you don't have that issue, just take it right out. It's much easier to take it out as you go than to try to get it out after the fact. All right, there we go. All right, let's try this again. It's better to just take your time. Uh-oh, I think I might have did it again, but we'll see. All right. All right, let me see if I did any of my zipper teeth. This is one of those things when you're attaching the lining, you just got to always be extra careful. Okay, I see one little spot. One little part. And unfortunately, I have to take it out because otherwise I'm not going to be able to zip in it. But I can re-sew it afterwards. This is the hardest part, having to use your seam ripper to get this. All right, there we go. Now we're making progress. Okay, let's see. All right, there we go. All right, that should be enough. I'm just trying to pick enough apart, enough of it so that I can zip in it. Try it on. All right, I feel like that should be good. All right, and let me just try to make sure I can zip in this before I do the other side. This is one of those challenges that you get when you get your lining zipping in. I mean, too close to the zipper teeth. So the lesson here is take your time. I already got one more little part that is stuck. One more little part, and then I'll be on to the other side. Where is it? Right here. Okay. Thank y'all for hanging in there. We are like so close to being done. And the final reveal, I promise you it'll be worth it. There we go. All right, there we go. Don't do that. Is it another piece that's stuck? Whoa. All right, that should be it. Okay. Sorry. All right, let's see. This is why it's good to go slow and don't go fast. What in the world is keeping this thing from zipping? Okay, here we go. Let's try to take this piece. All right, I think I got it. Yes. Here we go. Okay, I got all of the part that was stuck. One more side. This time I'm going to go slow. So that we don't get anything caught. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what they say. So far, so good. Okay. Now, let me see. So I got one little part that I need to fix, but nothing that I think won't keep me from zipping in this up. Now, what I'm going to do off camera is I am going to do an understitch in here, but I'm going to do that off camera. I think I can do it off camera. Okay, there we go. So that second side went in perfectly. So where are we at? Oh, we got 9 minutes before 3 hours. So you definitely do need to understitch this neckline. Otherwise, you're going to be, dealing with that lining potentially rolling out. So you do want to make sure you do that. And I feel like you need to understitch it before you put the sleeves in, because the sleeves are attached to both your lining and your facing. I'm sorry, your lining and your main fabric. The other thing that you do want to do is make sure that you can cut off those corners. You can cut those pieces off so that it'll make sure when you turn it, it'll look nice and clean. So I am just going to understitch this really quickly. It's not going to take too long, but I think it will make a difference. Not I think, it will make a difference in the final garment. And the sleeves will not take long to put in at all. So just hang on in there. I am just going to do a nice little understitch. Make sure so that was the understitching. That should help it lay down. Yep. And so the last thing we need to do is put our sleeves in. So here are our sleeves. I used, again, Vogue. I'll just show you. I used Vogue. No, I didn't finish yet. I'm almost done. I'm putting the sleeves in. So I did Vogue 1824. I used these sleeves, but I just used half of the sleeve. So I did not do the bottom part. So it is basically a sleeve that stops right before the elbow. At least that's the intent of the sleeve. So I'm going to just stitch together the sleeve. I folded it in half, right sides together, and I'm just going to stitch them together. And then we're going to put them in the armhole. And so the easiest way to do it is to put a basting stitch or to base stitch the lining and the fabric together. That will help it stay together. And then I'm sewing this at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, there we go. What time is it? 9:57. Okay. We're almost there. Almost there. All right. And I'm just going to do the other one, same way. 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And then I'm going to turn these to the right side. Right side facing out. But before I put them in, I'm just going to do a double check, make sure I don't have any problems with the sleeve getting on, and I don't. So I got a shirt on underneath, so yeah, should be okay. All right, so I'm gonna put this, turn the dress inside out. So you're looking at the wrong side. Again, what is easiest is to do a basting stitch all the way around to keep both your lining and your main fabric together. If you don't do a basting stitch, you just want to make sure you really pin it really, really good. And I'm just lining up my seams, the bottom and the top. Line them up. I'm just going to put this clip here to hold it while I pin, 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 pin. You can see that they line up really well. So I'm just clipping these two. And this one front. Let's see if I can tell which one. Okay, this is the back. So this is the back. Okay, so here we go. And then I did mark my center. Here we go. So I'm lining my center of my sleeve with the top, with the shoulder seam. Then I'm using pins just because it's going to be easier to make sure that all this fabric, these 3 layers, so you'll have your lining, your main fabric, and your sleeve. Depending on which fabric which pattern that you use, you may need to do some gathering, base gathering stitches at the top of your sleeve to make sure it can fit into the armhole. What time is it? Okay, 3:01. We almost there. Almost there. And I'm just using extra pins again because I didn't do that basting stitch, so I want to make sure that everything is lined up. And a couple more pins in there. All right, there we go. I think we got it all in. All right, I got that all in. And now I'm going to just put the other one together, and then we just got to sew. Down to the wire, last little part, putting these sleeves in. And go. I'm going to turn this right side out. And where's my little top part? Okay, here we go. Again, I'm lining up my center top part of my sleeve with the shoulder seam. Making sure I have all 3 layers all the way around. Hey, Monica, welcome. I'm almost done. I'm just putting the sleeves into this peplum top. And then we are going to try it on. Almost finished. That's like my favorite phrase, almost finished. I say it because it makes me feel like I'm almost done. But I am. After we sew these sleeves in, then we're going to try it on. So the only thing I'm going to be doing at this point is hemming, hemming the bottom. I think that's really all I need to do. Making sure that the zipper is, oh yeah, and cutting off the extra zipper at the end. Okay, got everything all done. Now I'm just gonna, all pinned, now I'm just gonna sew it. We should be good to go. I'm sewing this at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. The key is to make sure that all 3 layers are sewn in because I did not do that basting stitch, but we should be okay. I'm just going to take my time. To some extent. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So far, so good. Last little part. I think, yes. All right, one sleeve in, one to go. All right, here we go. Second sleeve going in. All right, last little part. Fingers crossed. We are down to the last little bit, and okay. I think we have a completed peplum top. We're 99% completed. With the zipper in the front. So obviously this has to be pressed out, but let me just show you really quick. Don't play games with me. Let's get this. I think once I press it and everything, it'll be fine. And go. Okay. Uh-oh, let me not forget. Let me not do that. Okay, here we go. So here it is with the sleeves in. Still have to press it, but I still have to press it and I have to hem the bottom, cut the zipper, and hem the sleeves, but I'm going to try it on so you can get a feel for how it will look. This should take a few seconds. I know. All right, here we go. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. So this is the finished peplum top. So it's a little tight, but it's not bad. So the next thing I need to do is, thank you. I know. So I love the pockets. So the pockets I absolutely love. So I'm going to, hem the bottom, hem the sleeves a little bit. I love that remember I told you I cut the sleeves so that they come right at the shoulder. I'm gonna press it out. I think what I might do is on the sides, I might let the seam allowance. I did 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And I might let that out a little bit. Just a teeny bit, because your girl got inches on. Woo! But it's cute though. Can you see this with like, let me just pin this up. Can you see this with like some navy blue bootleg pants? I could totally see it. I love the collar. I'm so glad we went with the invisible zipper. So this is the back, how the back looks. So I feel like it looks pretty good. I like it. I definitely like it. Who would have thought that this dress could be like a peplum top? Again, love the pockets. Like, totally see me throwing my cell phone in there in the midst of running from one meeting to the next. But yeah, I mean, it turned out pretty good, I think. And look at this. Look how this, doesn't this look like I pattern matched it? I did not, but it looks like it, right? This goes right across the zipper. It's like a perfect match, right? That's like so awesome. I did not pattern match though, for the record. Yes, but this is it. This is the finished peplum top. Again, I used Beauty Du Jour's Know Me 2016 dress for the bodice and the peplum, which is the first layer of her dress. And then I used Vogue 1824 just for this sleeve, because I just wanted a straightforward sleeve, nothing too fancy, because I wanted it to be, appropriate for corporate. And I definitely feel like it will do just that. I don't think I'll need to wear a blazer with it. I think it does fine on its own. I don't think I need to wear anything with it. I don't think it's too busy. I think it's just the right amount of pizzazz, and dress it down a little bit with some navy blue pants. I think would be everything. Yes, with the pattern matching, right? Doesn't this look like it? It looks like it. I didn't do it, but it definitely looks like it is a continuation for sure. So yeah, I think it looks really, really cute. So again, this is our Ankara series. This is the second week that we've done it. This took about 3.5 hours because again, I did a little bit of prep offline with the darts and all of that. So because it has the lining underneath, the understitching that's required. Thank you so much, Carmen. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. You always showing love. I appreciate it. So for the record, this is Know Me 2016 hat. We did the Ankara peplum top, and it's got Know Me 2016 for the bodice and for the first layer of the skirt, which is a peplum. We made it into a peplum. And we put the zipper in the front. We did an invisible zipper. And then we used Vogue 1824 for our sleeves. We also modified them by making them mid-length. So yes, it turned out really, really cute. I really, really like it a lot. I hope that you all try to make it. Yeah. So thank you for hanging in there. I don't remember what we're doing next week, but what I can tell you for sure is that we will be using Ankara fabric again. Definitely, I'm enjoying this Ankara fabric. So make sure that you visit Grace's shop to get your Ankara fabric. Zesty Couture, African Zesty Couture is Grace's shop. Again, great Ankara fabric. It's what I used last week, and it's what I use this week. It's what I'm going to use next week and the week after. So again, happy Friday, and I will see you all next Friday. Bye. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you for the super chat, super sticker. Thank you, super sticker. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the super sticker. You always showing love. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining. I absolutely appreciate all of you for joining. And I hope you stop by next Friday, 7 p.m. We're sewing again. Let's get social. Bye. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Miss Alethea. Thank you, Belinda. Thank you, RV Beads. Thank you, Denise. Thank y'all for hanging in there. Bitter Water Forward House. No, I don't sell the pattern, but you can grab Beauty du Jour's 2016 from Joann's. You can also get it from simplicity.com. And then you can get the Vogue pattern from simplicity.com. But I didn't sell the hack of the pattern, but happy to help you if you do decide to make it. Right? I love the pockets. Right? I love it. Thank you, Monica. All right. I will see you all next Friday. Thank you. Bye.